In this video, we're going to show an example of creating a circle segmented tool or barrel cutter from an imported DXF 2D drawing. You can see already I've imported the file. I'm going to simply come over here to Machine Technology and select Tool to open up the tool library. And from here, right-clicking on the Tools folder, I'm going to create a new cutter, Milling Tools Barrel Cutter. So at the very top here, I'm just going to start working down. This is a 16 millimeter diameter. So the nominal diameter is 16 millimeters. The shank is 16 millimeters. The cut edge length is 31 from here to the tip. Type in 31 here. I will make the insert link the same. The programming length is how far the cutter actually protrudes out of the end of the holder that it's in. I'm just going to use this 44 millimeter diameter, or excuse me, length. So programming length of 44. The top clamping would just be the range that the cutter could be clamped on in the holder. So I'm going to skip it, but I would probably put it at like the maximum of 48 for this one, and then maybe 10 millimeters for the minimum. The total length is 92. So we'll put in 92 here. The connection is going to be dependent on your plug list. Shank contour I'm not using because I'm just manually typing in all of the information here. But if you didn't want to do that, or you had a complex shank or a tapered shank of whatever, just like other cutters in Tebis, you can select this. You can manually type the values in here and it would begin to draw, or you could select the contour from the screen and it would automatically import it. But again, this is for the shank, right? So because I put it all in here, I'm just going to skip this one. Now we're going to go down to the cutting edge, the barrel cutter parameters. Tebis gives us 4 different options here. The first option is contour. Or again, for the cutting edge, we can select the contour out here, but we would need to orientate the drawing into the proper position to the XY. We have a barrel shape cutter. We have the option to create a cone cutter or a drop shape. And obviously, to me, this one is a drop shape. So we're going to leave it at drop shape. The profile radius is the radius of 75 millimeters here. And the point radius is 3. Now we come down to the usage area. I'm going to select this box here, make this a little bit bigger so we can see what we're looking at. So the usage area, this basically defines the optimal range area of the cutting tool or the cutting edge. So at the very top here, we can see we have 2 options, angle and relative. These kind of work together. So I can define the cutting edge by an angle or a percentage. And what the 3 here, limit above, fixed, and limit bottom, limit above, this specifies the upper limit of the tool tilt angle. The limit bottom specifies the lower limit of the tool tilt angle. And the fixed field option here, this one specifies the fixed contact point of the tool. And you can see when we create a new one, it puts them all together at the same position. If we select standard, it's kind of like a default reset. And you can see, and now I have 0. If we look at the percentage, 0, 50%, and 100%. And what you can change this. You can put up whatever value, like again, a hard value or a percentage. But you can see the limit above is the top, and so on. And what this is, what this means is it's actually the top of our profile radius. So this right here is a straight cutting edge, which is 16 millimeter diameter. And here is our point where our profile radius begins. So that's considered the top. And then the bottom is the bottom where the profile radius ends before going into the point radius. And then the fixed is the middle. But again, we can alter these positions however we want. So for example, if I wanted the limit above to be 2 millimeters lower than the beginning of the profile radius, I could just type 2 millimeters in here, for example. Or maybe I'd put it at 9%, whatever. So that's the definition of the usage area. Select OK. And then from here, the rest of it's like any other tool, cutting tool in Tebis. We would put in our, we would put in our number of cutting edges, whatever that is. Fill out your technology parameters for the cutting data. That's all the same. And then we have our tool we can use.